please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. CBS Cares.
Stay tuned for scenes from our next episode.
Just ahead on News 9, a bullet strikes a car on a metro highway. We hear the driver's warning from that near miss. Plus, gunshots send authorities racing down a rural road. Tonight, investigators reveal what led to the murder-suicide.
They had the shooting, burning, pins and needles of diabetic nerve pain. These feet grew into a freewheeling kid, loved every step of fatherhood, and made old cars good as new. But I couldn't bear my diabetic nerve pain any longer. So I talked to my doctor, and he prescribed Lyrica.
Nerve damage from diabetes causes diabetic nerve pain. Lyrica is FDA approved to treat this pain, from moderate to even severe diabetic nerve pain. Lyrica may cause serious allergic reactions, suicidal thoughts or actions. Tell your doctor right away if you have these, new or worse depression, unusual changes in mood or behavior, swelling, trouble breathing, rash, hives, blisters, muscle pain with fever, tired feeling, or blurry vision. Common side effects: dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, swelling of hands, legs, and feet. Don't drink alcohol while taking Lyrica. Don't drive or use machinery until you know how Lyrica affects you. Those who've had a drug or alcohol problem may be more likely to misuse Lyrica.
Now I have less diabetic nerve pain, and I love smoothing the road ahead for others.
Ask your doctor about Lyrica.
Cool Bears all new with NFL MVP Tom Brady, Monday on The Late Show.
A deal done in desperation.
The clock is ticking.
Has dire consequences.
You have to know who you are working with.
New Madam Secretary, CBS next Sunday.
Tuesday.
What is that? A puzzle book. I've never been on a treasure hunt before.
Help! This is crazy.
This is fun.
New NCIS New Orleans, Tuesday.
On the scene, on the story, News 9 starts now.
Well, thanks for joining us here at 10. A bullet hit a car on a busy highway right here in the metro. And tonight, the driver claims someone opened fire on his car for no reason as he was going down the Broadway extension near Edmond. News 9's Aaron Brelbeck is on the scene tonight with more of the details. Aaron.
Yeah, Lisa, the driver says this is the kind of thing that you'd see in Chicago or Detroit, certainly not near Edmond.
My seat goes back, basically the bullet hole would be right there in my back.
So if that had gone right through the door?
If it would have penetrated through the door, it would have hit me.
John Rogers likely owes his life to the frame of the rear door of his new Acura. He says Friday night he was driving on Broadway Extension, getting on Kilpatrick Turnpike, when his girlfriend heard something strange.
I said, hey, I think I heard bang, bang. I really didn't hear it. She heard it, and she says, I think we're getting shot at. I said, no, come on, crazy, that's crazy.
Rogers says he blew it off till the next morning when he went out to his car.
Sure enough, I see something on the edge of the car, and I said, what? There's a hole.
A bullet hole. Rogers says, so far as he knows, he didn't tick anyone off.
No altercations at the restaurant, no altercations anywhere between, no altercations, road rage or anything, just an act of violence, randomly, carelessly.
Randomly and carelessly, Rogers says, without regards to his life or his girlfriend's life.
You know, it's crazy that some random, I don't care if they're jacking around or not, randomly that could take a life.
Now, Rogers says there was a car in the next lane over. He didn't get a very good look at it, and quite honestly, he's not even sure if that's where the shot came from. Police are investigating. We're live on the scene on the story. Aaron Brelbeck, News 9.
It's been a windy Sunday here across the Sooner State, and a live look outside from Air Comfort Skycam Network. Those winds are starting to come down just a little bit under clear skies, but temperatures are quite chilly. Temperatures feel like the 30s right now. Wind chill 37, the temperature of 44, as you can look from a Regency camera. North winds have been gusting over 30 today, now down to around 15 to 20. And they'll continue to relax here for the overnight, as you can see those winds at around 10 to 15 out of the north. With those clear skies, north winds, it feels like the lower to middle 30s. So a cold overnight as a lot of us get into the 20s and 30s for overnight lows. But a sunny work week ahead as those south winds return. Big late week warm up. Temperature 70s and 80s, and will also increase that wildfire threat. Your latest 9-day forecast coming up.
Okay, Justin, we'll be looking forward to that. And in just the last few hours, state investigators have released new details in the murder-suicide investigation in Seminole County. Here's what we know right now. Deputies were first called out for a shooting at a home just south of Wewoka last night. The OSBI says the suspect, Jerry Leonard, had been arguing with his wife, Bailey Goodwin. Goodwin told investigators she called a male friend to pick her up, and when that friend arrived, the suspect shot and killed him in the front yard. That's when Goodwin shot at the suspect and missed, and he then shot her in the leg. Deputies later spotted the suspect, but they say he killed himself at the end of a short chase. The wife is now in recovery. Investigators say the couple have 2 young children who were not home at the time.
I feel sorry for the kids, because, you know, their dad did something bad and now he's gone.
Now, the name of that friend who was killed has not yet been released. Right now, authorities are working to notify his family. And tonight, Oklahoma City police are looking for the gunman who shot a man and left him for dead. The body was discovered near the street on Linwood. That's near Northwest 7th and Western. Police are expected to release more information on this one tomorrow. And a wrong-way crash claimed the life of a man last night on the Turner Turnpike. Raymond Lane of Oklahoma City died in a head-on collision. The OHP says he drove on the wrong exit ramp and ended up eastbound in the westbound lanes. 4 cars were involved in this crash, but no one else was seriously injured. And the OHP is looking for anyone who witnessed a wrong-way crash on I-235 early Friday morning. It left a driver critically injured. Troopers say they've been in contact with the other driver, Toby Pedford. He's accused of going the wrong way in a construction zone. Now, they did a blood test to check for alcohol, and they're now waiting for those results. In the meantime, investigators say they want to talk with anyone who saw Pedford at a restaurant on Northwest Expressway Thursday night. Leaders of Oklahoma's second largest school district just endorsed a plan for teachers to walk out next month if they don't get a raise. This morning, Tulsa School Superintendent Deborah Gist announced the district also supports a so-called work the contract effort that's starting tomorrow. That means teachers will only work when they're in the classroom and not work into the evening or during the weekend. On her Facebook, Gist says, quote, "We must be willing to do everything within our power to change conditions for our teachers, students, families, and schools." And this week, more schools right here in the metro will consider support for a walkout. The school boards for Middale and Edmond will meet tomorrow to consider endorsing this cause. Meanwhile, Putnam City School is set to discuss the issue on Tuesday. New tonight, a puppy found dead on city property prompts an animal cruelty investigation in northeast Oklahoma. Collinsville police believe 2 men left a dead puppy in a suitcase by the city lake. They say the puppy belonged to a woman who let it suffer with parasites for days. She's not been arrested, but officers say she could be charged with animal cruelty. Well, more congregations in the metro are getting lessons on how to deal with an active shooter. Today, the First Baptist Church learned about ways to shore up security and how to react if there's a threat.
Even Jesus said, you know, if you didn't have a sword to buy one, he told his followers to do that. So even in the very beginning, it's always been, I think, a tension between peace and love and self-protection, and that's just where we're at now.
Now, experts say one of the most important things you can do anywhere in public is be aware of your surroundings, and of course that includes knowing exactly where the exits are located. You can see right there a lot of happy OU basketball players tonight after learning they are heading to the NCAA tournament. The Sooners will face Rhode Island for the first round on Thursday. Their game is in Rhode Island. Meanwhile, not as much excitement in Cowboy Nation after OSU got snubbed. Instead, they'll play in the NIT tournament. Their first game will be against Florida Gulf Coast. We're going to have a lot more on OU and OSU coming up on the Blitz. And we are following some breaking news tonight from New York City. A helicopter has crashed into the East River, killing 2 passengers. 3 others have critical injuries. Officials say the helicopter was being chartered for a photo shoot when it went down in the water. Dive teams pulled the 5 passengers from the helicopter. The pilot was able to free himself and was rescued by crews of a tugboat. Well, White House officials say North Korea only has to meet a few conditions for a meeting between President Trump and Kim Jong-un to happen. Now, the meeting has already been agreed upon, but the Trump administration says North Korea must not engage in missile testing and nuclear testing, and the North cannot publicly object to military exercises between the U.S. and South Korea.
They're not sending missiles up, and I believe that. I believe that. I really do. I think they want to do something. I think they want to make peace. I think it's time. And I think we've shown great strength.
If the meeting happens, Trump will be the first sitting U.S. president to meet with a Korean leader. Still to come here on News 9, a new church in Stillwater pays tribute to an Oklahoma priest who may one day become a saint. But first, more litigation for Chesapeake Energy, why an antitrust lawsuit is moving forward.
David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge Midwest City. Dollar down days. Owe too much on that old ride? $1 down could get you out of any loan or lease and into a new Chrysler Jeep or Dodge. Like $1 down on a new Wrangler with $6,000 off MSRP. Dollar down days. And every new vehicle comes with engines for life and no payments for 90 days. Dollar down days. Going on right now at David Stanley Chrysler Jeep Dodge across from Tinker in Midwest City. DavidStanleyDodge.com. Ram Truck Month.
You know, patients ask me all the time, is my cancer hereditary? I have one particular family that has a hereditary breast and ovarian cancer syndrome. If we knew something about their genetic makeup that makes their sisters, their mother, their daughters, their brother at risk, what profound changes can we do in that family to identify that risk and manage that risk? There is a relatively new test that we provide at the Cancer Center that not only tests for some of the major genetic mutations that cause cancer syndromes, but some minor, lesser known genetic mutations that also have very profound risk. And certainly in my practice, which is a lot of young female breast cancer patients, it's vital. And as my career has progressed, the genomics and the genetics of cancer is absolutely the future of cancer.
Do you suffer from lower back pain? I'm Dr. Angie, and you'll love the life-changing Mood Base.
Unlike the others' adjustable bases you'll see, our exclusive Mood Base uses the wireless remote for ease of operation and the German-engineered motor that operates so quiet. And right now, with any selected mattress, like this gel-infused Queen mattress set, just $14.94, and the $700 heads-up Mood Base free.
Bob Mills Sleep Spa. Ah.
There's still time to save at Nissan now. Don't miss big offers on Sentra and Altima, both with automatic emergency braking that could stop for you. Standard on our most popular models. The technology of tomorrow, available today. Time is running out. Save big on our lineup of sedans. It's time for an upgrade. Hurry into Nissan now. Offers end soon. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models, or save up to $10,260 on select models.
Know the story. Know the city. Know the way. Know the issues. Know the change. Know the weather.
So you can know more. On the scene, on the story. News 9 this morning. Get ready for severe weather season. David Payne will show you how Next Gen Live is becoming more powerful and see all the ways he and his team can keep you ahead of the storm. Monday, March 12th at 7 p.m. Presented by Oz Safe Rooms and News 9. News 9 is brought to you by Contour from Cox. Get right to the good stuff. On the scene, on the story, this is News 9.
An antitrust lawsuit against Chesapeake Energy is moving forward tonight. A state appeals court has reversed a trial court's ruling that dismissed the case. That means the case will be sent back to trial court while a parallel lawsuit is ongoing in federal court. Back in 2016, Chesapeake admitted that it violated federal antitrust law and has cooperated with the Department of Justice. Well, this means the company qualifies for leniency. A martyred priest from Oklahoma is being honored in a very special way. Today, first-class relics of Blessed Father Stanley Rother were placed in the altar at the new St. Francis Xavier Catholic Church in Stillwater. A dedication of the new church was held this morning. St. Francis Xavier is the result of two parishes combining into one, and Rother, who's from Okarche, could become the first Oklahoma priest to be recognized as a saint by the Catholic Church.
Well, it is a windy day out there with lots of sunshine, but high temperatures a little bit above or below normal. Only our second day this month we've actually seen temperatures below average. We should be in the low 60s. How about some 70s and 80s on the way? Details coming up.
Winter is in full swing, and it's a great time to upgrade your furnace. Purchase a qualifying Lennox cooling system from Airco Service, and we'll give you a furnace absolutely free. So don't get caught in the cold. Call Airco Service, the official service company of the Thunder.
30 years ago, a race began along a quarter mile of dirt and dreams in Oklahoma City. Today, with the biggest prize money and the best horses, that glittering quarter mile is home to the best quarter horse racing on earth. Don't miss the opening weekend of Remington's biggest quarter horse season ever. Celebrating 30 years of hard racing fun. World's best. OKC's own Remington Park.
David Stanley Ford, Midwest City.
Oklahoma, it's truck month.
Settle up your new ride.
Like a new Escape Titanium, 20% off MSRP. That's 20% off. Or Explorer XLT, 20% off MSRP. Even 20% off new Expedition Limited.
Only at David Stanley Ford.
Huge truck month savings. Tires for life with your purchase.
And everybody rides with approved credit. Only at David Stanley Ford, Midwest City.
DavidStanleyFord.com.
We're dealing, Oklahoma.
It's hard being a smoker. I've heard all the lectures.
You know, you shouldn't smoke.
I know all the signs. I've seen all the faces. I know the money it costs me. But that doesn't change the fact that it's hard to quit.
The Oklahoma Tobacco Helpline. No judgments, just help. Free patches, gum, or lozenges, text and email support, and more. Call or visit okhelpline.com.
Make dinner time better spent with the performance of a natural gas range and rebates from Oklahoma Natural Gas.
There's still time to save at Nissan now. Don't miss big offers on Sentra and Altima, both with automatic emergency braking that could stop for you, standard on our most popular models. The technology of tomorrow, available today. Time is running out. Save big on our lineup of sedans. It's time for an upgrade. Hurry into Nissan now. Offers end soon. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models, or save up to $10,260 on select models.
No one thinks about their water heater until it fails. At that point, you have a huge mess on your hands with water damage everywhere. And this is the time of year your tank works the hardest. Right now, you can save big on a new high-efficiency water heater. Call Airco Service, the company you know.
Well, an Oklahoma photographer hopes to encourage a 5-year-old student who is battling a terminal disease. Case lives in Durant and has a form of muscular dystrophy. This form of the disease is so rare, he's the only documented case in the world. Well, doctors say the disease could end his life before his 15th birthday. Well, after hearing this story, Shanna Johnson decided to lift his spirits by turning Case into his favorite superhero in a picture.
I wanted to help him feel strong and inspired and powerful.
Well, although the disease is incurable, Case has an upcoming surgery with UCLA researchers. This will help slow down the disease. And our Oklahoma weather experts want to keep you ahead of the storm. You can go behind the scenes with Chief Meteorologist David Payne and the rest of the team. We'll show you radar tools you'll only see right here on News 9, plus David's exclusive tornado forecast. Join us for Ahead of the Storm Monday night at 7. And while we're thinking about storms, some Missouri residents woke up to this winter weather outside their windows this morning. Look at this. Parts of the state saw between 2 and 3 inches of snow. The snowfall came from the remainder of a low pressure system that began in the Pacific Northwest. It wasn't quite cold enough for the snow to freeze to the pavement, but it did cause roadways to get kind of slushy there, which led to a few crashes, but maybe not a snowman.
Yeah, it just shows you the ups and downs of early spring weather. Just an hour south of Columbia, Missouri, they had severe weather yesterday.
Unreal.
With hail. And then they had snow, and there's some areas of southern Illinois, southern Indiana, and Kentucky, Louisville, for instance, Evansville, Indiana, that have had thunder snow here this evening and have seen anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of snow.
So that's my big question. Are we out of the snow window here? I mean, do we plant the flowers? Do we not plant the flowers?
That is the big question. Are we done with winter weather? I'm seeing long term, over the next couple of weeks, there are no big shots of cold air heading our way. We will be cold tonight, but in the frame of ice or snow, not seeing that.
Yeah, we're springing forward.
Yeah.
We lost an hour.
Yeah. Daylight saving time did take over here last night. We went from 2 to 3 a.m., just like that. But
I was awake for that.
Yeah, look at the sun. Yeah, probably. 7:34 here this evening. That was the sunset. It was nice to be seeing that sun after the 6 o'clock show. And then by the 1st, we get to 7:51, 8:16, 13 and a half hours of daylight. By May 1st, all that patio weather in the air with those warmer temperatures. Look at the warmer temperatures here so far this month. Look at all the reds. We've only had 2 days so far at 11 with below average temperatures, and that average temperature starting to warm up back up into the middle 60s. Right now we're at 62, and we're just about 2.5 degrees warmer than what we should be. There's that spin of low pressure with that thunder snow across portions of Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky. All the showers and thunderstorms off to the south. We'll have to wait for a little weak weather system that'll zip to the southeast, weakening as we head towards Monday night to Tuesday. That could provide some clouds across western half of the state. Overall, area of high pressure is going to be building in, and we're going to see a lot of sunshine and warmer temperatures. Live look from our Air Comfort Skycam network, Sand Ridge camera, 44 degrees. That north wind slowly starting to decrease, but it has a chill in the air here this evening. 37 wind chills will be in the 20s here as you wake up. As you can see, those north winds continuing, temperatures 30s and 40s under those clearing skies. Area of low pressure, all that snow off towards the east, a weak weather system off towards the west. But overall, these areas of high pressure will get under a ridge. The jet stream lifts to the north, provides sunshine, and eventually a southerly component of the wind will get rid of those north winds. But over the next 24 to 48 hours, we will still be under what we call a northwest flow. So still some cooler air. The bulk of the Arctic air that's still in place with snow showers, 20s and 30s for highs up here to the northeast and the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley. For us, here comes the warmth. We'll get on the backside of the area of high pressure, clockwise spin. So we'll get those southerly winds, and look at the colors. That's warm air heading our way, and it'll feel almost late spring, early summer-like, especially by late week into the weekend. I think some areas of the state could be flirting with near 90-degree weather, especially off to the west. You're dry, you fry. That is going to be the case with those southerly winds as temperature is going to be warming up. As we head towards late in the weekend, a storm system comes in. Generally, we look at southwest flow, south winds, but most of the moisture might be just off to the east and lacking. So right now, only a slight chance of storms, but it will be warm and windy for most, and that'll mean high wildfire threat across the area. Temperatures 20s and 30s, a hard freeze for a good portion of the state. So yes, we're not ready to start gardening yet. Our average last freeze, March 30th here in Oklahoma City, has been early as February 21st. It has been as late as May 3rd. So we still have a couple more weeks to really get rid of those freezing temperatures, or at least the possibility of those freezing temperatures, and even late April across northwest portions of the state. Your Monday hour-by-hour forecast: sunshine, temperatures 30s to 40s to 50s, and a little bit of a north breeze, but nothing like today. As you can see, temperatures tomorrow warm up into the 50s to low 60s. And Tuesday, morning clouds, afternoon sunshine, lighter winds, still below average, upper 50s to low 60s. But look at your 9-day forecast. Here comes the 60s, 70s, high wildfire threat late week into the weekend. There's that slight chance of a shower and thunderstorm on Sunday, but I don't know about you, but
80s?
Those 70s, 80s look nice.
That's like pool weather, okay? Maybe. That's all the time we have here. It's time for the Blitz now. We'll see you next weekend.
Cross over to something cool at Eskridge Honda. The 2018 HR-V is packed with cargo space, convenience, and style. All for just $179 a month or 0.9% financing. We go the Eskridge mile.
I was hit head-on by a gentleman that fell asleep at the wheel. My car was totaled. I was in pretty bad shape for several weeks. I feel like car attorneys are honest, dependable. I feel like they sincerely cared, and they maintained good communication with me throughout the entire process. This was my first time to ever use an attorney, and I felt like I was in good hands.
If you've been injured in an accident and you're not sure what to do, call or text us today to see if we can help.